What's up, everybody? Welcome to THS Wrestling, This Week in Wrestling. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't even know what day it is anymore. We're waiting on some hosts, but it's 2 after we were supposed to go on. So here I am with Ultimo Dragon in the background with all of his championships. Derek Watson, Roman Reigns is definitely now a heel. I 100% agree, Derek. If there was, I can't imagine why. He just beat the shit out of his family member. We'll get to that, though. We're going to talk about Clash of the Champions. We're going to talk about Retribution. Don't you worry. I have a lot of thoughts about that. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Go Pack Go. Hey. What's going on? Johnny said he's going to be a couple minutes back. Hey, Neeson. Be great if you were here, man. Neeson's on a plane right now, guys. He had a layover, and he sent me 18 million pictures of the Blueprint, the Boss, the Standard. Those are the only ones I can remember. Sasha Banks. So it's Matthew. There we go. That's how we know. But, guys, before we get to everything that went on tonight, we might talk some AEW. Honestly, nobody shows up. We're going to get through the show real quick because there's nothing like talking to yourself. Right, guys? But before we get to all that, coffee, guys. We all need coffee. I need coffee right now because I don't even know what I'm talking about. Death Wish coffee, guys. The strongest coffee in the multiverse. No longer just the universe, in the multiverse. If you head on over to deathwishcoffee.com, use the promo code #show, you get 10% off your purchase. Yes, Neeson. It's just me and Ultimo Dragon with all of his belts. He had so many at one point, so that's what we're doing it. Biggie is not turning on Friday. No. There's no reason to. Who is Roman going to fight next? It is the only coffee that matters. I agree. I 100% agree. So, guys, I think before we actually get into Clash of Champions, we did have another untimely wrestling death this week. Road Warrior Animal passed away. Very sad. We did an entire tournament, if you guys don't remember, and we talked about Legion of Doom a whole lot. Very sad. One of my favorite tag teams growing up. Both are now gone. And joining me now is Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, sir.
We are live.
We are live, pal.
We're live, pal. We're talking about memories about Road Warrior Animal, one of the best tag teams of the 80s. Boom. They're all coming in. It's like their ears were burning. We are also joined by Justin from the Wrestling Classic. Hello, sir. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Better now.
Better late than not coming out, I hope. Sorry.
100% better coming late than not at all, because holy hell, this would have been a short show. But guys, we're talking about Road Warrior Animal before we get into Clash of Champions. Very sad now that we have those stories between those two are now just lost for the rest of time, and very sad. And I know we all talked about the tag teams, the best tag teams in the world, and if you guys go back and check those out, we talked about the Legion of Doom extensively and how great they were. But Road Warrior Animal will be very much missed by us, and condolences to his family.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think of tag team wrestling, regardless of the era, I feel like the team that most people think about are the Road Warriors. So, yeah, it's just crazy to think that it also reminds you like how long ago we lost Hawk, you know?
Yes. Yeah, man. Very long ago. Ugh. All right. We're going to switch gears here, and we're going to go into the Clash. It's Clash of Champions, guys, not Clash of the Champions. Sorry, I was a WCW kid growing up. My bad. But Clash of Champions, guys, what did you think top to bottom if you were to give this show? And I want to know in chat, what we're thinking too. 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Jimmy?
I'm going to give it a 7.5. It did have its lulls, but I feel like it started out hot and it ended pretty hot. That IC title match was insane. I know we'll get into it, but like, man, that was probably some of the most innovative stuff I've seen in a long time in a ladder match or any other match for that matter. Like stuff that I feel like you would normally get like common sense thrown into it, but you're like, oh, it's wrestling. Who cares? No common sense. But like something like, yes, someone finally having the key to the handcuffs the entire time. Like, I'm surprised it took us this long to actually see it.
Absolutely. And before we get Justin to yours, rounding out our foursome is Johnny P 313.
What it do? What up, everybody? Good to see y'all.
From an undisclosed location.
Parts unknown.
I'll just leave it at that. Retribution's after you. Well, I wouldn't be too frightened of them with those names. We'll get to that a little later, though. Justin, what on a scale of 1 to 10?
For me, I know I kind of just posted on my page as well, and it might be a little crazy for people to think the weekly product personally. I haven't been on it for a while, but the weekly product for me hasn't been that great. Raw, SmackDown, and whatnot. But this show was a solid 8. From top to bottom, there's so many things that happened throughout the show that just stood out to me. Like Jimmy was mentioning, the ladder match and the creative finish, which we'll get to in a bit. Like I thought that was amazing. Sasha Banks showed up, so that instantly took that up a little bit higher for me. And and Roman, no shirt, my tribal chief, my boy. I can't wait to get
shirt Roman.
The tribal chief, boy. Like,
we'll talk about that extensively for sure. Johnny, what would you give the show on a 1 to 10?
Honestly, like, here's the thing. I came in here with like low expectations because like it was like Clash of Champions, search for Curly's gold. So I was like, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. But all in all, I didn't give a lot of credit though, because like a lot of things that came up. Like one is like when we heard that Nikki got sick, it's like I hope she gets better soon. But then to get a replace with Asuka was like, oh hells yeah, I'm totally down for this match. And then, I was already just heard, like, Sasha showing up was a big plus. And then Roman, like, again, like, showing up. Like, I was a little bit, until, like, the end of the match, I was like, I wasn't feeling as much. But the moment it turned to, like, a total beatdown, I was like, yes, this is the storytelling that I need. So, yeah, all in all, I'm probably going to throw it about, it was actually a pretty good pay-per-view. I'm going to toss it an 8.
An 8, okay. I think I might go the lowest. I'll go with a 7. I know they had to do some switching around because Nia and Shayna and Nikki were not available. But I think the substitution with just, having Bailey and Asuka MVP, just always like Asuka go out there. Yeah. All right. She's having like 18 matches a night and they're all great. But overall, yeah, I think we started hot. We finished hot. And I thought the middle was pretty good, but I'll go with a 7, 8.1. My goodness. What drove it to the 0.1 is what I want to know, Aaron. That's what I want to know. All right, guys, let's get into the show. We said we started off hot. We started off with the triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship between Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. One Samuel Zayn comes out on top, getting both belts. I will say it was very nice to see him take a lot more bumps than I feel like we have in a while. It seems like he's back in the swing of things. I thought this was a great match. I thought the innovation they used in the ladder match was gross and also very cool. Look, man, I don't need that. I don't need this pulling on the earlobe stuff.
Oof. I mean, it's innovative. You got to give him that. You've never seen that before, and you probably won't see it with anyone else except for Jeff Hardy.
And then Sammy also handcuffing himself to AJ, just stopping him. And then Sammy being smart enough to keep the key on him. It was good stuff overall. Jimmy, what did you think of the match?
I mean, by far the best match on the card. And as you were saying, like guys taking bumps that – they shouldn't be taking these bumps kind of anymore, like any of these guys, but somehow they are, and good for them. Like I said, just a lot of innovation and whatnot with this match. And, I love that Sammy won because, as he said, like he never actually lost the title. And it's one of those things where like you can build on this even more because is he a 2-time Intercontinental Champion or is he the undisputed because he never actually lost it?
I think technically he's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion at this point.
I believe so.
Yeah, I would also say that.
But I will say it was.
I'm going with Sammy. He never lost it.
Yeah, and to your guys' point, like it was a great match. I thought the bumps in there were incredible, and at the end of the day, the finish for me sold me on it. The creativeness with it, the handcuffs, the earlobe thing, like Jimmy said, you're not going to see anyone else really do that instead of Jeff Hardy. And now, if anyone else does do it, we're going to think about, oh, they already did this with Sammy and Jeff Hardy. Personally, I wanted Sammy to win. I think there's going to be nothing better than an arrogant, cocky Sammy that's going to go on a SmackDown this week saying that he told you guys he never lost the champion. He's the title and he's the rightful champion. Like it's quality entertainment. I love the finish. And yeah, I thought it was also really clever that he handcuffed himself to AJ Styles. Like, I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No, I never in a million years saw that coming. So I think the three of them got together and said, we need to do some new stuff because I think people have seen a ladder match before. Let's try and do some weird stuff. Johnny, what'd you think?
Dude, same thing. Like, honestly, when the whole handcuffing sessions happened, and I saw Jeff's ear getting handcuffed, I was like, I thought of that. Jeff was in the backstage, was like, hey, would it be cool if? I was like, fuck it, if it's your body, do what you want to do. And then honestly, again, just showed how intelligent Sammy was. Like, before the match, I texted our group chat. I was like, I'm calling it right now, Sammy's winning. Because going into that match, like, AJ's phenomenal. AJ doesn't need this win. His legacy is continuing to grow and grow. He can lose a match. Anybody so Jeff just came off that whole feud with Sheamus, was alcoholism. Then he wins the belt and everything like that. So Jeff's in the night too. Sammy's the one who just came back, and so he kind of needs this to help build his momentum again. Because don't forget, he also his like stable of crew or whatever, Shinsuke and Cesaro aren't getting his back because they're like, oh well, you left and you're not even really technically the champion and blah, blah, blah. And so he needs to get some legitimacy again to get some steam going behind him. So I like this win, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen in the future.
Justin.
But to Johnny's point, like it really had to be Sammy because I remember getting really excited when Sammy won the Intercontinental title because that was his first season. And then the fact that obviously the pandemic had to take time off because of that, like I didn't want him to come back and be like, oh, like it's almost like when Finn won the Universal title, got hurt, and then he came back and you're like, oh, he's never gonna get it back. Like
yes,
like AJ is a made man, Jeff Hardy is a made man. Not that Sammy's not a made man, but that was his first singles title win. I want him to get it back,
Mm-hmm.
Neeson, Seth Rogen for the win. He does got a little Seth Rogen going on there. All right, moving on. We had Zelina Vega challenging Asuka for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. I think if there's one thing I could take away from this match is we need more Zelina Vega matches. That's for damn sure. I thought she held her own in this match. She did not come out on the winning side, but I thought overall it was a good match between these two. Asuka retains. Does anyone else have any other thoughts? Oh, we get the bow at the end.
Yeah.
And the little cheap shot there. And Zelina vowing that this is not over. I mean, this is a fresh matchup. I sincerely hope that this isn't every week. It seems like it's the same matchup on Raw. And I sincerely hope we don't go that way with this, but I would love to see a rematch. Jimmy, what do you think?
I definitely think we need to see it, and I'm sure we will get it down the line. We're finally seeing what Zelina can do in the ring for those who have not watched her outside of WWE. It's like they only know her as the managerial role, who's done a few moves and appeared in a few Royal Rumbles, but now we're actually going to see her in regular competition, which I think is long overdue. But I get it. You needed her as, the voice for Andrade and Angel Garza. But the fact that now she's finally able to break out, it's like, thank you.
Absolutely. Johnny, what did you think of the match?
All in all, I liked it. Like, it wasn't anything that blew me away, but it was just a solid match. And honestly, it feels like the first in a series of matches type deals where this is going to build up because, again, we know that Zelina has a great moveset, but that actually wasn't on display that much tonight. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next and how they're going to kind of build this up and everything for like a couple months or whatever. So all in all, it was a great first start. She's dope, and it's great to see her in this individual role. And yeah, she's amazing as a manager, but she's also just a good wrestler as well. So it's nice again to to get a run, like do some things right now, especially when there's so many women who aren't around. Because Carmella's supposed to be coming back, but we're not sure yet, and other women who aren't wrestling right now. So again, we need kind of like all hands on deck, especially with people like end up getting sick and everything. So it's great to see you in the ring. I'm looking forward to see where this is going to go.
It was exactly what I expected it to be. Like when I made my predictions, which I was 5-2 for, by the way. Yeah, for the matches that actually did happen, I was 5-2.
Nice.
But I said, you know what? I love Zelina Vega. I'm glad she's finally getting the opportunity to actually wrestle. But I'm like, I don't see her winning the title yet. But what I wanted to happen in this match is by the time the match was over, and I thought Asuka was going to win, but by the time the match was over, I wanted people to see that Zelina Vega could be a number one contender in the future. Because even right now, when she got this title shot, everyone was kind of iffy about it because they haven't seen her wrestle. I think now after this match, not saying it was the greatest match ever, don't get me wrong, but it did enough, and even the stuff that happened after the match with the bow and the kicking Asuka, it did enough to kind of solidify Zelina Vega as a future number one contender. And secondly to that, like they did talk about having a draft coming up soon, and she could end up on SmackDown, and she could still be a major player on SmackDown after what happened tonight too, if that's the case.
Mm-hmm. Matthew, I can almost 100% guarantee that Shayna Baszler is not pregnant.
Yeah. Nia Jax is trolling, and
Nia Jax is trolling, and I will confer with the panel afterwards to see if they've heard the same things that I've heard. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on. Bobby Lashley defending the United States Championship against Apollo Crews.
Yes.
Apollo!
The Hurt Business is good for business once again. Bobby Lashley, let me tell you, I really like this match, and I know this is like we're talking about fresh matchups. This is not a fresh matchup, but when you have MVP at ringside talking that trash,
oh, so good.
It was great. It was just a really good element. And I know he does that every time, but it was good that they seemed to highlight it a little more. Lashley wins, and yeah, I thought this was I'm going to be saying that a lot. I thought this was a good match. I mean, I don't think anything really blew me away until the end, which we'll get to. But Jimmy, what'd you think of this United States Championship match?
I mean, I think between all of the matches that these two have had together in the last few months, this is the best one. To your point, MVP being ringside, and I guess they decided now, they're like, hey, we're in the Thunderdome. We should actually have more like mic access closer to the ring, in the ring, kind of like what they did with the Mixed Match Challenge. I'm like, this is long overdue. And obviously they did that a lot in the main event, which we'll get to. But having MVP there, just as, the head of, more or less the head of the Hurt Business, like he should have been talking like pretty much the entire match, and it would have added a lot more to it. And because even the amount of talking that he did, it boosted the match like interest up a lot for me.
I guess I would just let me know what you guys think of the match, Johnny and Justin. But where does Lashley go from here? I feel like this should be it for Apollo for title shots for a while. Does he go straight to like T-Bar or whatever his name is, or is that where we're headed? Do you think we're headed towards a Hurt Business Retribution series of matches where one of them gets a United States Championship match?
I don't want it to, but I understand why it might go in that direction. Or is the name of a strip club around here, by the way. But on that note, I mean, I don't know what a bigger question is. Where does Apollo go? Does he start feuding with Cedric or something now? Or does the Hurt Business still feud with Apollo and Ricochet? Does Ricochet go after the U.S. title? Are the Hurt Business baby faces, or are they heels? Does the baby faces against Retribution, the heels against Apollo guys? Like where, like I said, the weekly shows, and I shouldn't even say the weekly shows. NXT's been fine. SmackDown's actually been pretty decent. Raw's been pretty tough this past few weeks, and I don't know. That's a loaded question. The match was good. I enjoyed it. It was good for what it was. It wasn't fresh. We've seen Apollo versus Lashley a ton of times. Still a solid match. There's absolutely positively nothing wrong with it. Went exactly the way I expected it to go with who won and who went over. But yeah, I don't know. Does anybody want to see T-Bar, Mace, or whatever the other guy's name, Flapjack, Slapknot?
Well, I mean, spoilers for when we talk about Retribution later. I never want to see them ever again.
They think they pull ratings according to the conversations they're having with Brian Alvarez. So you guys, I think we're going to see them a lot.
Where are the ratings? Anyway, Johnny, what'd you think of this United States title match? And I think let's pause the Retribution talk because I feel like we're going to go for about an hour on that. And I'm not joking.
Low key, like I love this match a lot. Like one, I'm loving the ending of it because I'm happy that because first when they came out, I was like, "Where's Cedric at?" Because I figured Cedric would help Lashley cheat to win or whatever. And so maybe hopefully Cedric just had the night off. Hopefully he's not sick or anything. But it was dope to see that like again Lashley get the clean win over him, and that was amazing to see because again Lashley's such a dominant figure that's like he should be able to beat Apollo here. So that way 6 months from now, if he's challenging for a belt, it makes sense. Two, to Jimmy's point, like, yeah, I love MVP being out there because him being on the mic is amazing. And to be real, he fills in the gaps of Apollo and Bobby because neither of them are made amazing on the microphone or talking or anything like that. So it adds an extra entertainment factor. So they use the MVP like marvelously right now. And then three, like, honestly, like, I'm not, because when it comes down to where does go next, I'm more worried thinking about where does the Hurt Business go next. Because I don't want them to feud with Retribution, which we'll talk about, because again, heel versus heel or whatever. But I want to see them on this heel path and keep growing. You like accumulate more titles and whatnot. So I'm going to see where they as a heel group go next, which I'm hoping to tag guys.
I mean, yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, and we've talked about this a lot on this show. It feels like nobody knows if there's like few and far between of who's a heel and who's a face across all three brands. And I think that's in the opinion of myself, Neeson, and Johnny. I don't want to put words in your guys' mouths, but
I can agree.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, but let's move on here. Speaking of rough, this match ended a little roughly. We had the Street Profits defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against Andrade and Angel Garza on the same page. Hashtag on the same page. Match ended abruptly after Angel Garza apparently hurt his knee, legitimately hurt his knee. The pinfall was very questionable, but they just, I think, had to get out of there to get him because he could not continue. I thought the match up until that point was pretty good, and then I went, oh, what happened? Jimmy, what'd you think?
I mean, pretty much what you said. I mean, and they even mentioned on commentary the fact that we've seen this match over and over and over and over again. I'm hoping this is it. Like, can we be done with this? Because, you know, like, at this point, I'd rather AEW it with just putting makeshift tag teams together just so we could have other teams for them, the Street Profits, to feud with.
Yeah.
I'm just getting like, I don't need to see another Street Profits, Andrade, and Angel Garza match. Like, we've been seeing it since April, and we don't need to see it anymore.
No, we absolutely don't. There you see Angel Garza getting looked at, and I almost wonder if the end of the match was supposed to be them not being on the same page. And they end up fighting, and then that takes them away from the tag team division, and then they have their own little singles feud. But
I mean, they could still lead to that right now.
Yes.
Andrade could totally go, you're the weak link of the team, and you proved it this weekend or on Clash of Champions. I'm leaving you. You're terrible, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
For me, I agree with everything you said. I was just on the other side of the coin there. Like, I actually really wanted Andrade and Garza to win here. Like, I wanted this to be the last match between the two teams, but I wanted Andrade and Garza to win. Because I'm like, I know eventually they're going to feud each other, and that's what they've been leading to, but it'd be a cool story for them. Like, oh, they lost Zelina, but now they actually won the tag titles. And look, the Street Profits reign has kind of been underwhelming for me overall. They got a lot of doing games with the Viking Raiders, and then Ninjas were introduced and all this stuff. And it's not the Street Profits. I really like the Street Profits. And we've won this match so many times. If we've seen it so many times, let's just give it to the other guys and to make sense for it happening again. Obviously, that wasn't the case. The ending was really weird. It's been common that the finishes to matches in the last little bit, because the same thing kind of happened with that Mickey James Oscar match.
Yeah.
The finishes to the matches this last little bit have been kind of weird. But, it is what it is. I hope Garza's okay. If legitimate, has a speedy recovery. I'd like to see him back soon. I do like Garza. I do like Andrade. I wish he won the tag titles. I like the Street Profits. But to Jimmy's point, who do they face now? Like hopefully
Yeah.
mix these things up, but I don't know.
I mean, at least if Andrade and Angel Garza had won, they could at least maybe fight. I don't know, War Raiders, or is that the
Ivar's
only
injured,
tag
though.
team?
I don't want to
Oh,
go.
Oh,
yeah,
he's injured. That's right.
I don't want to go into crazy booking, but I would have had Andrade and like Garza win it, and then you could have had them drop it to like Slapjack. Mace, Slapjack or Mace, or you could have them drop it to Cedric and Shelton Benjamin or something.
There you go.
You can mix it up. You know what I mean? But it would have been nice to have the titles off the Street Profits for a bit, put them on Garza and Andrade, because they're never going to be. Hopefully, they don't get a title shot. This is the Street Profits again.
Yeah.
But then you could have the Street Profits go after the Hurt Business or after Retribution and differently. I don't know, but it was what it was. It was okay.
Yeah.
Up next, we had Bailey coming out and telling us that Nikki Cross could not compete. So sad. So Asuka came out. They had an impromptu match. It lasted about 4 minutes, and then Sasha Banks came back. These two pictures are brought to us by Neeson, who had a layover. He sent me 15 pictures. I had 2. He sent me this one, and then also great face from Bailey. I think if anything, this just furthered along this storyline. Sasha selling the neck after beating up Bailey, and man, I'm really excited for this match, and good for Asuka for coming out and hanging with us for a couple of more minutes. I don't really know if there's a lot to say. Does anyone have anything to say about I know Sasha was kind of giving us some Aaliyah vibes for sure.
Speaking of Aaliyah, I mean, this would have been another perfect opportunity, because like if you're already having Asuka come out here for the second time, you could have had someone else, but if you're gonna have Asuka, you literally could have used this time to have Zelina come out and attack her, like do the brawl in the back, and then Sasha comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I mean,
opportunity for anyone to come out there.
Yes.
You even had Mickey come out and be like, I'm coming after another women's title. I don't care. Like anybody. It's someone from NXT who just made a surprise appearance one time only,
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much all in the same place. So they could have had something a little more surprising, which I think a lot of people thought they were going to do. But I mean,
plus
Asuka, trooper,
Yeah, but plus you also put Asuka at risk too, though, because it's like, to quote the great Kawhi Leonard, load management. You can't be out here risking injuries. That's how you lose championships. So, so the thing about it is, when it comes down to like Asuka coming out, hell yeah, cool. I love Asuka, but like we said, it could put them double to like Io Shirai come out, NXT champion, and like, oh shit, I see
it.
Exactly, or like somebody shows up for a quick second, just like to spice things up for a quick minute. So it would have been dope to see somebody else, but it is what it is, because again, the whole point of the segment was for the end with Bailey doing that chair shot instead of her and Sasha's feud like going further, which is
awesome.
Do we agree now that that this is probably leading to, because this was my prediction like a month ago, that this is probably leading to Sasha versus Bailey in Hell in a Cell?
Yes, absolutely.
I know some people want to push it to TLC. I think that was Neeson that's at TLC. I know a lot of people also wanted to go all the way to WrestleMania, which I'm game for as well. I think it's still fun.
Which
rematch at WrestleMania?
Yeah, it could still happen again at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think people are like, no, we have to wait till WrestleMania. I'm like, no, we don't.
The only
it'll be as good then.
And this is me nitpicking now. The only other thing that did kind of bother me about the situation is, if Sasha has a hurt neck, and I love Sasha, don't get me wrong, and Bailey's like perfectly fine, why are you so scared of her with her hurt neck? Like, why, like making the scared faces back up, like there's like
smack her in the neck.
Like, man, I get to tell the story, but this is nitpicking logical side of me. Was like, I would just run back in there with another rep and start whooping her. She's a hurt neck. Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
before we get to ambulance match, we got a question from Zachary. What do we think of Seth Rollins now? I say Seth Rollins should never be a face ever again. I don't think he is particularly great at it. I love this Messiah gimmick. I wish he played it a little more cult leaderish. But besides that, I really dig it. And also, I really dig that he got this event off. I think we needed to let that cool down after 18 Seth Rollins Mysterio matches.
Agreed.
They're not going to have a Leon Apollo match. It's not happening.
I guess not. No.
Oh
I mean,
my
we'll see. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. You know what? That's the other thing that happened on Raw, wasn't it? I don't even have that in the notes.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Up next, we had an ambulance match for the WWE Championship between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. And oh boy, was this a who's who of who Randy Orton has beat up over the past summer. This was like the ghosts of Christmas past and present coming back to get revenge on Randy Orton. I thought the match overall was okay. I guess it's as good as an ambulance match can get. And I thought all of the appearances were fun. But that's pretty much all I have on that. Drew McIntyre retains. Did anyone want Randy to win? I kind of did.
I did before.
Yeah.
I did during the show. As he kept getting attacked, I felt sympathetic for the heel.
I mean, he did have.
I can see
He
that.
did have quite literally. Let's go down. We had the Big Show.
McIntyre need.
He had a lot of help. This is his retribution stable. It was the Big Show. It was Christian.
That young Michaels.
that HBK guy. He seems like he's gonna be. And then where to, Randy?
Who let him behind the wheel?
Really?
I don't know, man.
Low-key, I agree. That was the scariest thing for me. I was like, he should not be behind the wheel right now.
Especially with that door right next to him, like he's gonna run that thing over.
Who let him behind the ambulance? I don't know.
By the way, like at one point, like Drew opens the side panel and he's throwing out these crutches, which is fine for an ambulance. And all of a sudden, this random chair, red chair with the white plus, and then Corey Graves goes, "What kind of an ambulance is this?" And I yelled, "It's the Slambulance!"
The Slambulance, yeah.
It's gonna make hell of an action figure, I guess.
It already is. It already is one.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, Drew does the commercial for it.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Look
Oh
that
my
up.
God.
Just look up Slambulance commercial, and it's Drew who's like the voiceover for it.
It was the ghosts of Orton's punts with that mess at the end. I like that.
There you go. Ken, what's up, man? And then also, I thought we'd see Edge in some capacity as well, Derek.
So too. I thought he was going to be the one on the top of the ambulance, and he'd spear Orton.
Other than
Yeah.
pop out of the ambulance. Like,
You know what? I was waiting for those when those doors came to open the first time. I was waiting for somebody to come out, but I think maybe they thought, no, we've done that enough times.
overall, I thought it was really
Jimmy's right. It's $49.99 at Target right now. The Slambulance. What the hell?
So they're trying to
Crazy.
trigger. That's what they're trying to do.
Synergy.
Oh, that's your synergy. Oh my god.
There you go. The marketing guy up there. But no, overall, I thought they told a great story. I did think I predicted that Orton was going to win. I thought this was a way that you could have Drew lose without getting pinned. Like he got thrown in the back of the ambulance. That's a way.
Yes.
To do it. You could have got creative with it. I keep bringing them up because let's try to use them as. You could have Retribution come out there and screw Drew. I mean, we had the Nexus bury Undertaker and it went nowhere. So like,
that's very true.
like you could have stuff like that happen. So I don't know. I thought it would have been a cool story because Randy, other than Drew McIntyre, who has had a tremendous reign so far since WrestleMania, one of the hottest characters on television this year has been Randy Orton. Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let Drew have his comeback. I would expect Drew to get the title back maybe by the end of the year, maybe by WrestleMania again. But I thought this would be a great way. Like, let's just put the title on Orton. You don't pin Drew; he stays strong. But
Yes.
other thing you can do is that Keith Lee screw him because Keith Lee should technically have beef with Drew at this point.
Yeah, and Keith Lee conspicuous by his absence, I guess. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I think this would have been the match to take the title off of him because, like you said, you don't pin him, and there could have been shenanigans.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have hurt him too badly.
And I know we're gonna talk about Raw, but isn't it kind of weird how like Retribution was fighting everyone and Orton just came in late in RKO and nobody bothered him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know,
What's Randy Orton's name going to be? But also, I think if Randy Orton was in charge of Retribution, he'd be like, "The fuck are you guys wearing?"
Yeah.
that guy's crazy.
Why do you have a mask and face paint on? Never mind.
Because they're in the Thunderdome.
I will say that solidifies that the higher ups in WWE have only seen one movie and one movie ever, Mad Max. That's the only movie they've ever seen. That's it. They all went to the movies one time and said, "Remember that movie? Let's steal from it again." Holy shit. Wow, Retribution. What a fucking tire fire. We'll get to it though. We got to talk about this main event, guys. For the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns taking on Jey Uso. I loved this. I thought this over from bell to the end with the towel and afterwards. I thought this was a fantastic match. Before you guys all came in, somebody said, "I think Roman Reigns is a full heel now," and I said, "Yeah, I think he is." I think he is. He beat up a family member to the point where another family member had to say, "Please stop doing that. I'll tell you anything you want." Yeah, really, really loved this. I think it makes Roman makes Roman look strong. I think it makes make Roman look unstoppable because he's got that swagger to him now. If he starts signing the mat, we'll be good to go. That's a little callback. What did we think here, guys? What do we think of the match?
You're so badass, you don't need a chest protector no more.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope this is the beginning of, the new look for Roman, new music. Hopefully, I think it was teased as well. Because especially now that he's quote unquote the tribal chief and he was given the lay by Paul Heyman, it's basically like, this is your new role now. You're no longer just the big dog. You're the tribal high chief. You are the head of the table. You are the Universal Champion. And just to hammer home the point of, him being handed the crown, so to speak, with this lay, very rarely do you see Paul Heyman in awe or possibly even regret of what his client or the person he's the spokesperson for, further actions. He looked so mortified at what Roman had done to his family that I feel like if you couldn't tell that he was a heel now, he is blatantly a heel.
Yeah, I think we've seen that a couple of times with Heyman and Brock. Not a lot, but I mean, for him to be like, I was honestly expecting Heyman to uncover his mouth and say to them, "I'm so sorry." I was waiting for that moment. I'm so sorry. I did not think he would take it this far. And I mean, the banter from Roman. No, I don't want you to say it. I want him to say it. I want him to say it. And then when Jimmy comes out, and we were using shoot names too. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like that little touch. Everyone did such a good job. Jay, all wide-eyed, no, man, don't do it.
Yeah.
Scene though, where he was holding his head and they were facing directly in the camera. Well, there was a point where I'm like, does Jay want to laugh? Is there
this is going to be a meme for sure.
I could be wrong. But it looked like the dude wanted to laugh, man. That's all I'm saying.
He did not look distraught. He did not look distraught.
Came out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit, but
yeah, this is kind of silly and funny, but good at the same time.
I think it was more of a smile, like, hell no, dog, I ain't going to say that.
Oh, he did laugh.
He did laugh. I'm like, but it worked. Sense. I think they did a great job of making Roman feel fresh and new and like a heel. One, this is the furthest he's looked from being a part of the Shield since 2012.
Absolutely.
He finally looks like the Shield's in his past. There's nothing that was Shield besides that entrance theme, which hasn't necessarily changed yet. And I know if Neeson was in here, he'd agree with me that I'm kind of worried about it changing because the theme music these days has not been that great. But great match. They did the whole low blow thing where they still hey, Roman still had to low blow him from after the pinfall to take control. They made Jay look good. This guy almost had it. And not only did he almost had it and Roman kicked out, he used a low blow to turn the match around and have it favor. And that almost gave you a reason why he got so pissed. Like, yo, this guy almost beat me. I'm gonna make him call me the tribal chief. Screw that, you know. And that's where I feel like that came from. And two, I forgot who it was. I think it was Ken. You stole my topic I want to talk about. I do think this could eventually lead to Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, and at the best way possible with Roman being the heel and Rock coming in, doing his catchphrases and stuff, and being the Rock, you know.
Yeah.
And then having Roman.
That would be wild.
Like
that would be absolutely wild.
Hey, I'm the chief of the island. Here comes Dwayne, Mr. You know, High Chief Peter Maivia's grandkid, and Rocky. You know what I mean? He's part of that family too. He's part of that. And one last thing I want to say before we pass over to Johnny. I don't know how many of you guys are follow Vince McMahon Googling on Twitter, but there was a funny ass tweet where someone's like, "So how is Yokozuna and Roman related? Is Roman part Japanese?" And it made me laugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
So Neeson says that Roman confirmed the music is changing.
Oh, no, he did. I thought it was going to be tonight. I posted on the THS page as well that he said that isn't the music and that he was not going to wrestle with the shirt. But the music didn't, unless I missed it. Was it the same music tonight? It was, right?
It was the same music, but I think come SmackDown, I wouldn't be surprised if come SmackDown, it's going to be the new music.
What, is he going to go on this whole Chief thing? Are we going to have some like tribal music now? Like, where are we heading with that?
I'm sure
it's a remix of Tamina's theme.
No, listen. Roman Reigns is the big dog of the WWE. We all know that. And now he's the high chief. This dude was the man, and he said, "Coronavirus? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay at home." And they were like, "Sure, Roman, whatever you say." You think he's gonna get some stupid ass fucking music? No way in hell. He's gonna get something good.
Hopefully.
Easton's point, actually, he's popular enough to request some actual music too, if you really want to. I think he has that, you know, and they would spend the money on him.
Yeah, they would reach out to like outside artists and get a collab or something like that. Yeah. Like CSO, like we'll see if whatever those dudes' names, we'll bring them back to do something as well. So yeah,
it should be interesting to see Roman's new look. I'm excited. Like it's so funny because somewhere I know Vince McMahon's like, I still don't get it. Somebody's like, he's like, I don't understand. And someone's like, just please don't make him a good guy. Please.
Low key, I gotta say, like for this match, it was like I gotta be real. Like at first, I wasn't enjoying the first part of it. Like it kind of built up to like towards the end because at first I was like, it felt like an average match, and I agree with the classic. Once they did a low blow and it started going there, and Roman started doing the squash, and I was like, yes, this is everything that I wanted and everything like that. So that's what's probably coming full circle. But yeah, I agree with what everybody's going with the chat right now. The thing about it is that like he keeps talking about I'm the chief, I run the family. I'm like, yeah, but you're not the highest grossing movie star in the world. I run the family. Yeah, but you didn't put out a video today that shook the political landscape. And people are really mad at The Rock right now, saying, I'm on the Burn the Rock's movies. They're all digital. How the fuck you gonna burn them? Like what? And so like legit, like I agree. Like I like that call right there for The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, which I'm like, that could be dope to build up to because that could become full circle and everything. But what I am interested in is those that like, how are they going to get past the Fiend? Because now that we've done this, they've been planting those seeds on Friday Night SmackDown, which we'll probably talk about, with Alexa Bliss cutting that look at him, which means the Fiend's not done with Roman yet, which is like, how are you going to do this with the Fiend and Roman now? Like, how's that going to work?
Well, Fiend is, I think, a face. I don't know. Yeah, I would say he is for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because the whole thing with him and Braun, I feel like that was a double turn. And then when he got basically mowed over by Roman, that pretty much made him the face.
How about this? How about this for a second, though? Like, I don't know. I know like it can't happen right away, but okay. So Jay lost to Roman. Obviously, it's your own cousin. So if you're gonna lay it on anybody, you're gonna lay it onto your own blood because you trust each other regardless. They've probably been doing this since they were kids and stuff. But there's a part of me that's like, I don't know how. There has to be some sort of logical reason. I know that's not always logical in the WWE, but I still kind of want to see the Usos behind Roman now. I still want them to be like a group. I want them to turn heel with them now somehow.
Bloodline fulfilled.
The NWO and nobody understood why. Besides, he was going to get blackballed. How can we get the Usos with Roman? Because I think that as a crew is still like really badass.
It'll happen. I think if you frame it correctly to where like, look, man, you were right. You are the high. Like they all agree and they fall into line, so to speak.
They bow down to the chief.
Yes. I think then I would be fine with that explanation. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen nuttier things.
Yeah.
But we just gotta wait for Jimmy's knee to get better, because even when he was out there tonight, I was like, "Aren't you injured?"
Yeah.
He still had the knee brace on, but it wasn't like the knee brace. It was the medical knee brace, where it's like, "Oh no, you are legit still healing. You're still going to rehab," and he looks smaller too, which means he's not working out right now. So like, we're going to do that, we're like 3 to 4 months away from it happening.
So I agree with Neeson. They can't do it right now.
Yeah, no, there's gonna have to be something.
It has to be like down the line. They can't be like on Friday. They're like, "You were right, Oos," and then they just join him.
TLC or something. They help Roman win something. Everyone's like, "What?" And then following that, it's like, okay, yeah, you know.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna talk about Retribution.
Yeah.
Also, he's 24/7 champion today.
But then he lost it.
Then he lost it. Still.
So.
Can we read off the list of names?
Retribution revealed themselves on Monday Night Raw,
No idea who they are.
and I cannot tell who any of these people are. Who is that? Is that
Shane
Casey
Thorne.
Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Razar? What is happening here? So we have Dio Madden as Mace. We have Shane Thorne as Slapjack. We have Dominic Dijakovic as T-Bar. And up until recently, Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez were unnamed, but they are being known as Reckoning and Retaliation, respectively.
Slapjack's the only one that brought a proper mask.
Guys, this is really bad. Like, I think on Monday I messaged Johnny and Neeson and I said, I'm very upset about this. This is not good for a number of reasons. First of all, let's just go down the list. It negates anything any of these people did in NXT. A place that is supposed to be like your third brand, which, I mean, oh, by the way, we're getting a draft with 2 brands, and NXT isn't one of those brands because we don't really give a shit about them, let's be honest. And this shows we have to give them half masks, so we don't know who Mia Yim is. And it sucks because, like, Mia Yim is, all of these people are fucking fantastic. And I wanted to see them flourish under the Retribution name. That's fine. But this is like, I think I described it to someone as, I am as mad about this as when my sports teams lose playoff games. That's how mad I was. I was like, this is infuriating. And if I didn't know who these people were, then maybe I'd be okay with it. But what is this? Like, Dio Madden is a talker, and he went back down to NXT to become a wrestler. And I thought, him being in Retribution, he'd be like, hey, remember me? I'm the guy that got beat up by Brock and nobody gave a shit about me. I was gone. I lost my job. No, I missed him too. I'm saying in storyline, like Mercedes Martinez, I didn't even get a shot. I've been around the world and they send me to NXT. That's ridiculous. Oh, also, by the way, they all signed contracts and that is like, why are they telling us that? Like, don't tell me that, because that literally makes no sense. These people have been destroying property, beating up your employees. You should have signed them the contracts and they should have immediately went to jail.
In the performance center, I might get signed. I don't know.
It's
like, we all go down to performance center, like spray paint, fuck Vince. We all get signed the next day. Like,
guys.
Yeah. Paper plate man. There he is. Guys, somebody else talk. I can't.
It's also just weird to me because a lot of the, like, Mia, when this Retribution angle started, like, Mia was still having matches on NXT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Donna,
Mia's the only one right
hooked out by Karrion Kross when this Retribution thing was already going on. The thing for me that blows my mind is the fact that, one, they don't think anyone watches NXT, which tells you what they think about NXT, further your point from before. And also the fact that, like, I feel like they started this because they wanted to, I don't know, either boost ratings or they thought it was a great idea. And like, this is such a cool concept of doing an invasion angle. We'll have it head into Survivor Series, Yippee-ki-yay or whatever, the Kurt Angle thing. Go watch it, guys. But I think they started it. And are any of you guys Office fans?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes I start a sentence, I don't really know where I'm going, and hopefully I find it at the end. Like that's what this is. Like now that they started, they know they have to continue it. They don't want to drop it. What can we do with Retribution this week? Let's just make them do this, this, and that. Like, what should we do with them this week? Oh, they have no angles with anybody, but let's have them do this. Let them get involved with Drew and have them get involved with the Hurt Business. It's just like, and also there's 6 of them or whatever, how many of them revealed themselves, 5 of them. But they got like Power Ranger putties popping out of everywhere every time they get attacked. Or
yeah.
Stuff. Like, are these people NXT people? Are they ever going to be revealed? Are they just masked men? Like, it makes. Listen,
I just hate this.
It's like I don't know if it's like it. I don't know, but as an older fan, it's just it makes me embarrassed to be watching it. You know, like. Why am I still watching this? This is like, why do I watch the show? Like,
I mean, I feel like it was always doomed to fail from the get-go, but I knew it as early as the fact that when they announced that Retribution is Raw only, it's like, if these guys are
that's when they
like anarchists or whatever, like, why are they going to adhere to this roster? You know, sticking to a specific roster when they were literally on both Raw and SmackDown, but not NXT. But it's like, oh, sorry. Oh, we're Raw now. So just like the 24/7 title, we will not appear on SmackDown. It's like,
it's like low-key really sad because I remember November when NXT invaded SmackDown and like totally took over and then ran Survivor Series. Adam Cole was like looked at as like the best wrestler in the world for like a hot minute. And then leading into that, Rhea Ripley went on this like awesome stable of matches. Keith Lee got all this respect and everything like that, all while at NXT, and people were tuning in Wednesday nights. And it's just crazy because, again, like kind of like you guys are saying, they're diminishing all those things. Because 5-6 weeks ago, me and Yim was competing in matches for the NXT Women's Championship. 5 weeks ago, Dave Cole just got beat up as part of a storyline for Keith Lee. We all know Mia Yim is dating Keith Lee, who was the NXT champion and North American champion. And so it's looking like, the fuck? Like, do you not think we tune in Wednesdays? Do you not think we have a memory of these things? And so let's just
because sometimes they think we do and sometimes they think we don't. They brought Bailey up like everybody was watching NXT our entire lives.
Right.
But then they bring other people up like nobody watches it. Let's just pretend they're new people. Like, I don't know, man. I
will say the only thing I do like about them, to be real, is I just love the fact that like for some reason they're feeding with the Hurt Business right now, and I'm just a huge Hurt Business mark right now. So we got fuse against the Hurt Business, and the Hurt Business comes out and shows no fear against them, and then the Hurt Business also jumps them in the back. I'm like, go Hurt Business, go. That's the only thing I'm getting out of this right now, is I'm thoroughly cheering for the Hurt Business out of all this. But as far as Retribution goes, I'm like, this shit's going to fizzle out because they have no plan. And honestly, it's like you just kind of tell that they're just, like you were saying, they're making them as they go along, and they're just going to totally, they're going to fizzle out and hurt these people's careers in the long run. Because they're going to have to like take them off TV for about 6 weeks to maybe like 3 months, and then kind of bring them back. And so you're going to hurt a lot of people who could have came with a lot of steam.
I think they're going to Kenny Dykstra them.
I mean, Ken has a point. I mean, and I actually have another suggestion of who should be brought in to save this. He says, have it be Keith Lee, be like, look, I know all of you guys from NXT. I'm now living with one of you. Stop this spooky nonsense. Let's just be who we are. But I think
go Hurt Business, go Hurt Business, go Hurt Business, go Hurt Business, go. It's the Hurt Business machine going to rock the top. Sorry.
I think they need someone like Malcolm Bivens to be like, look, guys, you don't have to be spooky, scary people that saw the final Batman movie. You don't need to be scary people. You guys have contracts. I've looked over your contracts. They can't fire you. Just be yourselves. Just do something like that. And then that way you get another talker for them, even though I don't think really any of them need a talker. They need to throw away the Retribution scripts because holy shit.
What are they so mad about? What are they so angry?
That's the thing.
I don't know.
What do they want retribution for?
What are you so mad about? Like, I don't know, man. And on top of that, like, this whole contract thing and them always getting in the building, like, someone needs to be, whether it's Shane, whether it's Vince, whether it's Stephanie, whether it's goddamn intermarried secret GM Adam Pearce, somebody needs to be behind it. Like
Adam P. McMahon.
Adam P. McMahon. Like somebody needs, like there needs to be some sort of, I know they're like anti-authority figures and AEW is all anti-authority figures. There needs to be someone behind this. Who's giving them contracts? Who's signing these people? Who's letting them have retribution? Like who's so angry? We haven't seen Triple H for a while. We haven't seen Stephanie for a while. Shane's running an underground, not really underground, somewhere in the arena, Thunderdome, Fight Club. Who's behind this? Adam Pearce keeps handling security and getting people to go. Who is behind this? Like that's somebody, you know?
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be jobbers so bad. They do, and they will be.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be good for Survivor Series. I said it on my show, the THS that I don't want to do the whole NXT invasion thing again. You can't recreate something over. Like they try to do that. Raw, so you just SmackDown, so you just Raw thing. They did it like 2 years in a row. It's like, why do we keep doing this? It's fun, but like, they need to get like creative with what they do. And maybe Retribution was their big Survivor Series plan. But...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're about at the hour mark here, so let's start wrapping up. Would we rather give NXT takeover predictions, or would we rather talk about Cody's hair from Wednesday?
When is takeover?
NXT
Takeover is next week.
Then yeah, maybe takeover predictions.
All right.
Cody's hair.
Go.
I think he's doing it for a TV show though.
That's what happened before. He had a diet for his last.
He dieted for Arrow, I believe. Yeah.
It's a good look though. It made him seem like he came back from the dark side and he's pissed and he's angry.
But I like how they were saying it was a new look. It's like this has been Cody's original look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John,
and now
prediction.
What's that from Neeson?
Neeson has a prediction. Next.
Yes, let's do it. Sandman, Raven.
What were they called in TNA?
Spider-Man 3.
EV2.
Gotta get EV2, man.
EV2 Extreme Version 2.0.
This was the comparison I made to Cody's new hair was when Tobey Maguire became evil.
Oh yeah,
and learned to play the piano. And then also started dancing. He basically became the Mask.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about NXT TakeOver. He did look like a member of My Chemical Romance. That is also, and he would sing a song about his dad, like the Black Parade. That's for sure.
Last thing about Cody though, I don't like. Did he need that elaborate of a intro to return with the long?
That's always his entrance. He just hasn't done it in a while.
Well, it has more fire. I mean, I guess the other thing I would ask is 5 weeks enough?
No.
Should have been longer, right?
Yeah.
Should have done at least a full 2 months.
Mostly because they're a company where the pay-per-views are 2 months apart. Like you could have held it off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do a strap match, a dog collar match, next week maybe. I don't know. Probably the next.
Really fast booking in that case.
Yeah, holy hell. All right, let's get to NXT TakeOver 31 here. I only have 4 matches listed, but I believe nope, that's all that's been announced. So let's get some predictions here. Damian Priest defending the NXT North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. Do we think Gargano wins, or do we think Priest retains?
I think Priest retains. Obviously, I'm a Johnny Gargano guy, and I think it'd be great to see him as North American champion again, because the last time he had it, that was when he just turned heel. So I think it'd be good to see him with it, but you got to let Damian run with the title for a bit.
Yeah. Agreed. So say we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to I am a Johnny Gargano fan, but I've said it over and over again that I just something about his heel run this year just hasn't clicked with me. Just hasn't been good. He's been, nothing really seems relevant that he's done this year other than that feud with Ciampa at the beginning of the year, I guess. But the only reason you put the title on him is if you're gonna have Johnny and Candice both win at this show and have them run with belts. That's the only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I am all for. 100% down.
It's not unique for NXT to take belts off people real quick. Let's talk about Keith Lee's reigns recently. I think Damian Priest. And Damian Priest is growing on me. I've never been a Damian Priest fan until now.
Agreed.
Yeah, I kind of like him in this role more than before, but also I don't really think anything really changed. So I don't know what my problem is.
I think he just seemed less. I didn't get his character before. Like I didn't know what he was, but now he just seems like a guy. I don't know. Like, I don't know what that means, but
oh, you think he's just a guy? That's not good.
no, like he's got personality, and he's just like
right.
Look,
Neeson says the non-finish.
Yeah,
which I could see.
Maybe.
All right, Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. I'm gonna go with Shirai to retain, but I would not mind seeing the Gargano LeRae belt collectors. I think that would be fun. What do you guys think?
Io, the same thing I said before. Only reason Candice would win if they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
agreed. 100%.
Yeah, same thing.
We have Kushida taking on Velveteen Dream. Making his return. Kushida. I'm gonna go with Kushida for. I wish I could post. Can I post that thing? I think I could.
If you want to,
I have it. Let me.
Controversy creates cash.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, I think it's Kushida, and it's not even close. If I can find it real quick.
Kushida, but how long? Can I ask you this question? How long has Dream been on NXT for? Is it who's had the longest stay on NXT, but also been like a high profile star on the brand?
Gargano.
But he wasn't always high profile because remember when they first brought him in, he didn't even have a contract. He was just pay per appearance.
Same thing with Dream. Remember, Dream was just in the Performance Center just as a guy, and he just kept getting building up. But
he actually had a contract at that point. I think that's the difference because
I think they signed him after Tough Enough, right?
They did. They signed him after Tough Enough, and then he would come out as like All-American Patrick Clark or whatever. Like, he would have like the eagle and the American flag on his tights because they're playing up that he was from DC. And then they finally gave him the character of Velveteen Dream.
Did he wear those call me up Vince tights?
He wore those once as the Dream for a pay-per-view.
How long ago was that?
Was that in LA?
It was like a couple years ago.
That was like, I want to say that was 3 or 4 years ago.
He's been there for long.
He's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And now he shouldn't be there.
Bottom of the barrel. Okay. Kushida.
All right.
I call Dream.
All right.
Why?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I like Kushida, but I'm just like, I feel like they're trying to build Dream up again to something because he lost that championship match.
Lawsuit?
This is pretty much some allegations. So now it feels like he needs to like start rebuilding and everything like that. So I can see him winning this and start like going for something. So I'm going for Dream for this one.
And then our main event is our new number one contender, Kyle O'Reilly, taking on the NXT champion Finn Balor. I mean, I think this is going to be a great match.
Absolutely.
I think Finn Balor retains for sure. I don't think there's no way unless they're like, we need to bring Finn back to SmackDown or Raw or something. But and boy, then they really wouldn't know what they were doing. But I think Finn retains in a good match.
Agree. And I feel like anyone who's seen Kyle O'Reilly in Ring of Honor or seen him in PWG knows what he can do like in a singles match. And the fact that we're finally getting to see it on a high profile match on NXT and it's with Finn Balor. Oh, this match is going to be amazing.
Someone said I don't know who it was, but they're like, for anyone that are like hardcore wrestling fans who do watch other promotions like Ring of Honor and New Japan or whatever else, like I've also seen Kyle wrestle here in BC a bunch of times. He's from here, but for any people that are like wrestling fans outside of the WWE, like this is a dream match. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like this is something it's a dream match that we actually didn't even realize that we could have and we want now. We're like, oh whoa, Kyle versus Finn Balor. Like I don't think I've ever seen that too. Like this is gonna be a banger. Like this is gonna be like absolutely. Anyone that hasn't, like if you Kyle's done a lot in NXT, but man, the man can tell a story, man. He's like good technical. He has killer strikes. Like there's a sense of like realism when it comes to Kyle O'Reilly as a wrestler. Like he makes it feel real. Like I posted that match with Kyle and Shibata because I always felt the same way about Shibata. I'm like Shibata, Shibata always gives me that realism. When I watch New Japan, all that stuff, I'm like that guy's like hard hitting and real, and I get the same vibe from Kyle. Then you have Finn, who's a little bit more flamboyant, a little bit more flashy, but also can get down and dirty. And I'm like, this is gonna be good, man. You know?
No, low key, I agree. Because like as soon as this match was announced, I was like, all right, Finn's getting the W, but they're going to hurt each other. hurt each other, and this shit's going to be fucking fire. And I'm they're doing this and everything like that, because what's cool is that like when this is all said and done, they can look at Kyle O'Reilly and then they'll realize that they can use Kyle O'Reilly in other different ways, which would be dope and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. Like, but yeah, they're going to fucking hurt each other. That shit's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of hurting each other, I don't know if anyone's watching the G1, but go watch Tomohiro Ishii versus Minoru Suzuki.
Talk about two hard hitters.
Dude, that match is.
I didn't watch it, but I've watched in Japan to know that those guys will probably take the living shit out of each other. And
then Minoru Suzuki versus Taichi. I've been doing my catch up on G1.
I don't know about Taichi, but I know Suzuki.
Dude. It's get a hold of those two matches. And
I was gonna say they're pushing Tai Chi to the moon right now with this whole thing.
Well, is he like newer?
No, he's been around. Masawa trained him, right?
I'm like, oh, okay. But the other guys, like, I know right off the bat. But
yeah, I mean, Taichi. We could go into that, but we won't go into it here. We're gonna wrap up here, guys. This was a lot of fun. Everyone in chat, thank you for joining us. You can see all of our little handles right here.
I guess I'm just like PWC Worldwide. So that's actually
yes,
on my Twitter. But go follow
PWC Worldwide, guys. Remember, and also Justin does a great job with our Instagram account.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
We love it, man.
Anyone that's here that recently followed, I appreciate it, man. We've jumped up like I think it was 300 followers and something.
Yes, dude.
Oh, nice.
We're killing it.
Keep rocking and rolling, guys. Follow it because there's a lot of stuff I don't post on my page and I only post there purposely. So go.
You need to post this picture of Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, you guys let me know too. If you guys are down with more classic pictures and stuff, let me know. Like I got them on lock.
All right, Neeson, have a safe rest of your flight. Watching us in the middle of the sky, I love it. All right, does anybody else have anything else they would like to plug, Jimmy?
I would just appreciate it if people would go back to that hashtag show YouTube and check out our interviews with Taya and with Mandy Rose, and got another one coming soon. But like, definitely check those out, and I appreciate the people who have viewed it. Not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous for both of those, and thank you to Neeson for being a tremendously great co-host who led it. But yeah, just fun times. Go ahead and watch it.
I've heard he knows what he's doing. That's the rumor around town.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Johnny, what do you got?
Yeah, Johnny, go ahead.
Oh, same old. Find my comments on Gumroad, Johnny P313. Biggest things right now is y'all get out and vote. There's coming up, and because we got a lot of things going on news right now. We got Taylor still have not been charged and everything like that, so we need to work with that. So please get out and vote and make your voices heard.
Justin.
TWC shop. If you guys want some collectibles, we got some action figures up there. If you guys are action figure collectors, do check it out. TWCshop.com. Obviously, you can listen to TWC show every week on Spotify, iTunes, Dash Radio, wherever. It's just TWC show. I just talk about what happened in the week, talk about random stuff, old school wrestling, new school wrestling. Subscribe, listen, and yeah, make sure you guys follow TWC Worldwide on Twitter and Instagram, and THS.wrestling on Instagram. And other than that, I think that's it, man. Carmella's the secret girl. Sasha Banks is the best. That's all.
Let's see. What do I got? I got Tornado Tag Radio. It's my weekly podcast with my co-host Marianne. We talk about AEW Dynamite, and that's literally all we talk about because we're too busy to talk about anything else. What else? NOTLG.com. That's my podcasting network. Twitch.tv/that#show. Guys, I'm gonna I got a back catalog of Japanese wrestling that I need to get through. We've done Stardom so far, and we did Noah, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was like maybe 5 or 6 of us just watching Japanese wrestling. So I have the new Dragon Gate that I want to watch. So I'll let everybody know when that's going to be. But for us, it's facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that#show TV, and Twitch.tv/that#show. But most importantly, that#show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture.
We'll see you guys next week.